think you've muted yourself. Unmute yourself. Hello, Dan. Can you hear me? I was hearing you at some point. Hello, Dan. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think we are back. We are back online.
Yeah, what happened?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Did you?
Okay. Okay. I think it was network.
Okay.
Yeah, it was network.
All right. And I don't know what happened. We have switched positions.
Yes, from this to this side. That's true. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's quickly go live. Let's quickly dive into it. Today we are going to be talking about how to retire rich in Africa. So
yeah,
I don't know if Dan needs any more introduction, but he can go ahead to do that, introduce himself, and go ahead to teach us how we can retire rich in Africa. Dan, welcome and take over.
All right, it's a privilege to be here. Thank you so much, boss, for having me this evening. Everyone, you guys are welcome to this live section. I think my profile, I've already said so much already. My name is Dan Arubasa, right? So basically, I do a lot of things, but for this broadcast and for this training, let's just say I'm a strategic retirement coach, because I'm also into life after school, because most of the time, because of Africa that we are in, a lot of people leave school and they start struggling, to put themselves, getting the job, fitting into the labor market and all that. So I'm also a life after school coach. So you get out of school, I can help you gain your feet, right, to fit into the labor market or to create your own value that you can offer to the market also. And also, I'm also a quantum leap enabler. By that, I mean, there are some things you want to accomplish and it seems difficult, right? We could work together and give you strategies that we can use to, create a quantum leap. That's we are not expecting to do something, achieve something, maybe let's say in 1 year, and we could get it, if we sit down one-on-one, we could get it accomplished in 3 months. So what would have taken you like a year could take you like 3 months. So I'm also into help people also to, accomplish their goals and all that. So basically, that's what I do. So as you see my profile and also my Facebook page, a lot of things are there for us to to introduce me to you as an individual. All right, boss. I think that will be all.
Yeah. So go.
Or ahead. Should I go ahead and just start teaching immediately?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're still there.
Go ahead and dive straight into it. And
all right, guys. So let's dive into today's class. Right, it's going to be as sharp, as short, and as quick as possible. Basically, if I've begun to discover that there's no African nation that you go to right now. Right, we have 54 nations in Africa. Basically, there's no African nation you go to right now, and you will not find pensioners who are struggling with their finances, trying to gain balance, and all that. No. So now, I'm not saying this to spite anyone probably who retired broke or who is struggling. Some of us have parents, including myself, right? But one of the things we must do for ourselves is that we should be able to learn from our parents' mistake or learn from the mistakes of our generation before us. So the first question you need to ask yourself is this: how does someone have 40 years to prepare for an exam, right, and still fail that exam, right? How do you have 30 years to prepare for an exam and you still fail that exam? How do you have 20, 30, 40, 50 years to prepare for an exam and you still fail that exam? And because of research, I began to discover that it is the same reason why students also fail exam. The same reason why some people retire broke in 40 years, retire broke in 60 years, retire broke in 30 years, retire broke in 20 years, as the case may be, is exactly the same reason why most students end up with poor results. And it's basic. Number one is that one of the reasons why students end up with poor results is that when school resumes, you have some semesters have 3 months, some have 4 months, right, to be completed. And when school resume, they don't dive into the study of their books, all right, on time. They keep waiting. So the first 1 month is gone. They are not yet serious with reading. They have all the course outline. They have everything, all the topic that is needed to be covered for the entire semester. They have access to all that, but they don't dive into the study early enough. So 1 month is gone. It's 2 months to exam. They are still waiting. 2 months is gone. It's a month to exam. That is when they will now start now under pressure, start to prepare for that same exam. They would have started preparing for earlier before then. So number one mistake they do is that they think they have time. The same thing many people do for retirement. Some of us think that we have time. You think you have time. You think you have time. That is why you don't start early trying to prepare for your retirement. So the same thing that affects the students, the same thing starts affecting us in real life. While you wait for time because you think you have time, you still have 2 weeks, you still have 3 weeks, you still have 1 month, and you start struggling and all that. That's why some people get out of the labor market and they start struggling when they get their pension, they have access to a large amount of money. They start taking risk with a lot of things, a lot of their finances that they have. Meanwhile, they have not spent time in learning the process of wealth creation, right? They've not spent those 20 years before, 30 years before, 40 years before. They've not learned how money works. They've not learned how to engage their finances, to engage in value generation, to create money and to create wealth over time. So when they leave the active workforce, they start struggling, right? They start taking risks, putting money in high risk investment, and they lose the money. So when they end up having stroke and all that. That's the number one reason why many people will retire broke without having access to law, because they think they have time. Also, like students, and of course, it's the same students who graduate from school that end up to start looking for work. Then they also start struggling later in retirement. It's the same habits they take from school, and they begin to affect them in real life, right? And number two reason why people also retire broke is the same reason why students also fail the exams, so they don't do well academically. How do I mean? Another reason why students don't study on time, right, is apart from the fact that they think they have time, is also the fact that they think that somebody is coming to help them. So even if they don't read, for instance, you have an exam that is coming up, you have 3 months to prepare, you didn't, you have 4 months to prepare, you didn't, it's because in the back of our head, or for some students, is that they think somebody is going to come in to help them. For instance, maybe they will start lecturers and they pass that course, or Sukudi is depending on a maker. If a maker reads, then he will use a maker's knowledge to pass the exam, which means that he's aware that he will need knowledge to pass the exam. He is not ready to invest time in himself to acquire that knowledge. He wants to depend on somebody else to pass that exam. So on the day of the exam comes, they come to the exam hall and they move a maker from Chukwudi's place, and Chukwudi is not stranded. The same thing that some people also, you don't prepare for early retirement, you don't start on time because you think that somebody is coming to come and help you in the future, right? That's why many of us don't do the things we need to do now. You think someone is coming to help you, and for some of us, it's our kids, right? We send them to do our best to send them to the best of school that we can afford, right? In hope that probably when they start doing well later in life, they will be able to take care of us. But that's a wrong strategy, right? To take care of your future, your financial future. How do you have 40 years to prepare for something and you shift the responsibility to somebody else, right? You shift it to your children. The question you should ask yourself is, how effective have you been, for so many of us who are average income earner, right? How effective do you think you are at the moment in taking care of your personal finances and also taking care of your own parents' needs? It's very possible that you can't adequately do it unless you are very, very buoyant with resources, because you have your own needs to also take care of. Then you not start also thinking about factoring in taking care of your own parents. So that's one mistake we shouldn't make. Don't make the mistake of the two mistakes. Number one, don't think you have time because you are going to fail, just like a student or campus. Number two, don't think that somebody is coming to come and help you tomorrow, right? Because if you do that, you are just choking up the entire process for yourself. So the two things you must first do is that you must know that, one, you must start on time. You start now. Immediately you start now with the current income that you have. That's step number one. Number two, you start also placing the demand on yourself. How do I retire rich? Is a question you need to ask yourself. Even though we have a lot of answers to the questions, but it begins first of all as individuals with your own journey. You know where you are right now in terms of finance, in terms of your finances, in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge, and all that. So you ask yourself this question: how do I, like Dan Arubasa, how do I retire rich as an average income earner? And perhaps you are confused about who an average income earner is. Is that if you earn anything below 500,000 naira down, you are an average income earner. It doesn't matter where you are across Africa. Just convert our Nigerian naira back to your own currency. Know the value. If you earn anything below that, right, you are an average income earner. So as an average income earner, how do I, that's the first question you should ask yourself, how do I retire rich as an average income earner in Africa? And I'm using the word in Africa in two contexts. First context is, Africa has so much opportunities. It's good that people are, leaving the country, leaving the continent. Many of us travel out of the continent, make a lot of resources and push back finances, foreign currencies into our economy that boosts the economy. That is amazing. Then context number two is a place of, as in, we're talking about this is Africa. How do you retire rich in Africa? In some other continents, they have structures that somehow, even though retirement is what most people struggle with across the entire world, right? But then Africa case is peculiar. Peculiar because we have foreign leaders who are where they have proved consistently over time. If you go to my page now, you see a lot of videos that are posted. They have shown over time, consistently over time, that is as though those who have served, work actively in their active years of service, whether government employed or even private employed, right? They have shown over time that they are not responsible for them. So you see a governor who is owing pensioners, right, billions of naira, who puts several money into buying form for Senate, buying form for this, buying form for that. The governor will pay himself, take care of his responsibility. If you do your own personal research, you'll find out that an average governor in Nigeria is entitled to 3 cars. One governor is entitled to 3 cars in retirement. Like in Lagos, for instance, the governor has a retirement plan to have 2 houses with a choice of one in Lagos and one in Abuja, in every area of the choice. So this is Africa. So you should be asking yourself, how do I prepare as an average income earner for my personal retirement? That is where I'm going to be sharing specific strategy that you can use for yourself. Now, the first strategy is this: number one, right, is basically from where you are right now, the kind of income that you're making right now. I don't know how much you earn right now, but then it's so powerful that if you think of it, even if you earn 30,000 at the moment, it is enough to execute a personalized retirement plan that will end you up wealthy and rich some 20, some 40, some 30 years from now. I know what I'm talking about. Now, I'm saying this because in 2022, which is how everything started for me as a person, right? In 2022, I kept asking, that was last year, it's a year and 7 months now, adding this July, right? I asked myself one question. I woke up that day and I kept thinking about it. And I'm the one that makes all the money every year, right? Every year I make this money and I spend money every day. Put fuel in the car, jump a bike, buy pure water, buy bottled water, buy this, buy clothes for children. So every month you earn money. Let's say you earn 100,000. By the time the month is ending, the 100,000 naira is gone, right? Completely gone, just like that. And you are asking yourself, where did this money go to? It was at that point that I started asking myself, I deserve to get paid.
Hello, Dan. Dan, you turned around your camera. Hello, Dan. Hello, Dan. Dan, can you hear me? Hello, Dan, are you there?
What the fuck? What the fuck? What if? What if? What if?
Hello, Dan. Hello, Dan. Hello, Dan. Okay, guys, let me get him back on the stream. He's not. Let me get him back on the stream. But so far, I feel that we've gotten some great value so far, right? Okay. Let me get him back on the stream again. Hello. Okay, so good to have guys here. So please, as a means of making this message to reach out to as many people as possible, please can we share this live stream to all our friends, tag them to come, let them come be part of what it is that we are doing right here. All right, tag them to be part of what we are doing right here. Before as I walk towards getting done back on the live stream. All right. Okay, so Emeka Christian is here. Ebenezer Dio is here. Fantastic to know that. Dan is having some issues joining us. So please give me a little while. Please give us a little while. Hmm. Dan seems while maybe you'll have to reschedule this again. I don't know. Hmm. Such a sad day that this kind of thing will happen. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's wait for him a while. So sorry for this happening. I'm checking to bring him back. So sorry, guys. So sorry, guys. Hmm. Okay, I think he's back on. Dan, can you hear me now? Hello, Dan.
I was still good, but so
Yeah, what
sorry.
happened?
It was a technical glitch.
All right,
Please,
go ahead.
it's okay. We are live again, right?
Yes.
All right. Somebody remind me. Where was I? Where was I?
Mm,
All right. Where was I? Please, everyone. Where was I? Where was I? If you are still here, if you're here from the beginning, where was I? Please.
okay. So,
Okay.
but are you able to see the live stream on your own page? Because I'm not seeing
Yeah.
it on your timeline.
You said on my. Okay. Let me check
I don't know why it's not appearing on your own timeline too.
my own
Does it?
timeline.
Yes, you know it's supposed to appear on your timeline too,
Yeah,
and
that's
mine at the
true.
same time.
Let me see. It's there now. It's there. Okay.
Oh, it's
Wait.
showing on
Hold
your
on.
own.
Hold on. I'm coming. Just a moment, sir, please. Yeah, it's there. I can see it.
Oh, okay.
It's appearing. I'm seeing it. It's here.
Maybe it's not allowing me from my own end. All right, go ahead.
It's here.
Go ahead.
It's okay.
Go ahead, sir.
It's okay. So nobody could remind me where I was. All right, then I was talking about where the journey started for me, right?
Yes.
That was what I was talking about, right? Okay.
Yes.
So in 2022, last year is about 6 months, 6 months, a year and 6 months now, right? So what happened was that I kind of feel myself, I make money. I'm the one making the money, monthly salary, selling ebooks and all that. Money comes in here and there. Then every month money comes in, and by the time the month is ending, the whole money is gone, except a little percentage that is left of savings and all that. So last year, 2022, I did an experiment. I said, you know what? It was funny. I said, you know what? I want to pay myself salary. And how much was the salary? It's funny, it's 200 naira every day. So I was paying myself 200 naira every day. I called it my personal benefits from all the labor that I'm laboring, working from Monday to Saturday. At times I even work on Sundays, right? So I called it my personal benefits for all the time I'm going out. And nobody gave me query. I deliver my value. At the end of the month, I get paid. People get my ebook. I deserve to pamper myself with at least some money. So what I did was to download the Piggyvest app, and I automated the entire process. Then I linked my Piggyvest app to my bank account, right? And every day, Piggyvest would go into my account. I pick 200 naira only, nothing more, nothing less, just 200 naira every day. They kept picking it. Then at the end of the first month, which was January, I saw 6,000 naira from 200 naira every day. By the second month, right, it was 12,000. So it was amazing. 3 months, it kept counting like that. But by the time it was 6 months, I had 36,000 naira, right, in my Piggyvest back office. And it was at that point, 6 months into this experiment of paying myself 200 naira every day, that I said, you know what? If this was actually my capacity financially, that is, if I was earning 30,000 and all I could afford to save was 20% of my income, which is 200 naira every day, and every month 6,000. If this was what I could afford to save as an individual, if my salary was 30,000, what can I do with this money? 36,000. By the end of the year, it will be 72,000 naira. What can I do with this money? That every year I'm saving 72,000 naira every year. What can I do with this money every year that in 5 years I will improve my income from, say, 30,000 to 100K or 50,000 for the next available shot that is there, 50K to 100K. Let's say in 5 years I'm able to earn like 500,000 as monthly salary. In 5 years, I went to my drawing board, leverage on the knowledge that I have, and I was able to come out with a solid retirement plan that if I'm able to execute this, saving 200 naira every day or 6,000 naira every month, in 12 months, 72,000 naira, I will be able to retire rich anywhere across Africa. Right? That was what started the entire journey for me. As of today, July, that Piggyvest savings is about 108,000 from 200 naira every day. Right? Now, when we entered this year, I said, you know what? Let's take this serious. So when we entered this year, I said, you know what? I download another app called should I call the name? Because I believe free adverts for different apps. So I downloaded another app called Carrywise, right? And I linked my bank account again to Carrywise. So every day, Carrywise goes into my account. Started with 3,000 when the year began, but now it's 2,000, right? I think one of the 1,000 that I added later failed. So now it's 2,000 every day. That money right now is about 400 and something thousand, about 480 something thousand. From 200 to 2,000 every day that the money the app saves for me. The point I'm trying to make is that it doesn't matter where you are right now. Your income may be 30,000, it could be 20K. If you put 20,000, it could be 5,000 naira, it could be 40,000, it could be 50K. Right? The first step of what you must do is a commitment to save at least 20% of your current income. Automate the entire process. You can use app. There are apps that you can use. Piggyvest is there, Carrywise is there. There are several other apps that you can use. If you don't trust those apps, you can do it manually. Right? At the end of the month, just move the money to another savings account that you want to put your money also. I'm speaking right now based on the fact that everyone here, I'm assuming everyone here is an average income earner. You earn below 500,000 naira. If I like to even place it at 30K, right? So your first step is to commit yourself over the remaining part of this year. Start with that. You will see the joy it will bring to you at the end of the year in the next 6 months. So you can start now from this end of July. If you are 30K, you are any 30,000, just move 20% of your current income, like 6,000 naira, into a savings account. Next month, do the same thing. Next month, do the same thing. Right? By the end, in 6 months, you will see how much you have as savings. That's step number one. Commit yourself to saving at least 20% of your current income. 20% of 100K is 20,000. Right? So commit yourself to saving at least 20% of your current income. That is the first step you must do. Now, on this journey of saving this money, use the next 6 months, right, to research the things you can do, just like I did. What can I do at the end of 1 year or at the end of 6 months? This is how much I'm going to have in my savings. If you are doing 200 every day, that is about 36,000 by the December. 6K every month is 36,000. What can you do with 36,000 at this point in time? Or you want to do it for a whole year, that is a year and 6 months, or 1 full year. What can you do with 72,000? Just like I asked myself that question. What can you do with 72,000 at the end of 1 year? And the first thing I saw that I could do for myself was the fact that if I commit myself to saving that 72,000 every year, I will pick a high income skill at the moment. And I think Emeka Nobis, you can they done himself, you can attest to the fact that you host a course that is selling for 20,000. Somebody doesn't have money to buy the course. You want the course that is selling for 10,000. Somebody doesn't have money to buy the course. You repeat this same process every year. You don't always have money to invest in yourself. So if you do that, the first thing I said to myself was that I will be able to buy a course for let's say a cost of like 50,000 or 40,000. If I use that 70,000 at the end of the year and buy a course of let's say 20,000, I will still have 50,000 left, right? Then I will use the balance 50,000 to buy all the necessary material that I need, maybe a high-tech phone that I could use to go through the online course. The next year I will repeat the same process, the same savings, right? I will go through that also, get the necessary materials. Then by the second year, using my savings again, I will invest in my marketing knowledge. Now I'm training myself to acquire a high income skill. In another year again, I will say, okay, I will invest this entire year. As I'm learning this skill for this entire year, by the next year, I want to invest in how do I sell my skill. I will use my savings to invest on marketing, how to sell, human psychology, and all that. Then I will learn that also. By the third year, I will start executing my skill. Using the skill I've acquired, the knowledge of selling that I've acquired, I will start selling my skill using that knowledge. Then, of course, that will affect also how much I can now earn on a monthly basis. And it is also impact on how much I can now save. So it's a structural program that you can put yourself through. It begins with number one, start with saving 20% of your current income. Number two, identify the high income skill that you can invest that money into at the end of 1 year or the end of 6 months. But the next year, invest in selling that skill because it's about knowledge. Selling that skill. Then number three is that you have to follow that structure process. As your income increases, you can increase the rate of how much you are saving, but just stay within that line of saving at least 20% of your current income. That is where the journey starts for each of us. Now, to just make it easy for us, for everyone who is here right now, right? When it comes to retiring rich in Africa or anywhere across the world, it's basically about two things. One, you have to have investment. It could be investment portfolio, a pool of investment that is enough to take care of all your financial needs, right? Whether or not you work again for the rest of your life. It could take you 5 years to accomplish. It could take you 10 years to accomplish. It could take you 20 years to accomplish. But what you are doing is that you are investing in a system that can produce money by itself without you having to get involved in the entire process. I hope that makes sense. That is number one, that retirement, a rich and a wealthy retirement is about. A system that you are investing in or you are building over time that it will not require your personal energy or personal effort or personal effort to continue to produce results over time. I hope that makes sense. Number two thing you're going to also, the retirement is about is the place of having a circle of influence that have a strong economic power, right? That you can leverage over time. Because some 5 years from now, some 20 years from now, from 30 years from now, the quality of your life will be a function of two things, right? Your skill, your knowledge, and two, your circle of influence. If you focus on investing in these two things, continuous improvement of your skill, continue to invest your savings, right, in your skills and in your knowledge, build that process over time. And of course, as you build that process over time, you're going to also be building, because as you go through trainings, you also be a part of people who are also interested in the same thing. For instance, if you push, let's say you earn 100K and you are saving 20% of, let's say you earn 500,000 for instance, and you are saving 20% of your current income, right? Over a 1 year period, you should be able to afford to pay for, let's say, a 500 course. That is 500,000 course, a course that will cost you 500K to participate in. What will happen is that when you're part of such a training, the kind of people that come for such trainings are not ordinary people. So on one side, you are improving your knowledge, and number two, you are expanding your circle of influence. You are improving your knowledge and you are expanding your circle of influence. If you focus on these two things for the next 5 years of your life, growing your skills and your knowledge, and number two, expanding your circle of influence, right? You will have access to enough resources, to enough knowledge, and to enough human resource that will guarantee you a wealthy retirement over the next 10, 20, 30 years. Right? Today's meeting is not about telling you where to put your money. I'm just giving you a formula that you can write down and follow. 20% of your current income, invest on your knowledge capacity. Then also, as you do that over time, you're going to expand your circle of influence. Once those two things are in place, right, you are on your way to a wealthy retirement. You are on your way to a wealthy retirement. At this point, I want to tell us about the basic idea of what retirement is about, right? Retirement, like, what is the idea of retirement? Right? The retirement is that, is about, you may do it, you go to Google, you will not find this answer, but I'm just telling you how it started basically, right? It was basically about how do we create more jobs? That was how retirement came about. How do we create more jobs? How do we create more space in the bottom so that more people can get to the labor force? And the idea was that let's look at those who are already weak within the entire system, in terms of health, in terms of age, in terms of productivity. So once they find out, so this number of, let's say, want to infuse in, let's say 20, let's say want to bring in more 50 people or 1,000 people or 500 people or 1,000 people, young flesh blood into the system. Want to bring them in because of scarce resources. So let's push out the up. So if you're within the age of 60 and above, right, it is time for you to leave the system. So they push you out of the system so that they can create opportunity for new people to come in. That way, they improve productivity over time. So the question is, why would you be dependent on a system like that? A system that's, that is managed by the government, regulated by a system. You plug yourself in when you can actually create your own retirement over time. Why wait till you are 50? Why wait till you are 60? Why wait till you are 60 something or 40 something or 50 something, as the case may be, according to your nation or your employer, right? When you will be forced out of the system, when you can start right now to begin to create your own retirement over time. And I've given you the formula. Commit to 70-20% at the moment. Invest in your knowledge capacity, then build your circle of influence. When you can go to a point where you cannot make the choice, you know what? I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to work anymore. Or I want to now determine the kind of work I want to do. I hope you get the point I'm trying to make here. So why wait till you are pushed out first when you can no longer do nothing, and you watch videos all across news? They are there, retirement, they get out of the system and they are frustrated, they are struggling, to put themselves together and to manage themselves and all that. Why would you have 40 years? That's a question I keep asking myself, and you should ask yourself the same question. Why should you have 40 years or 30 years or 50 years to prepare for an exam and still fail at that exam? Why should you have 40 years to prepare for an exam and still fail at that exam? Because 20 years for retirement, 30 years for retirement is a long time for you to do a lot of things, for you to invest in yourself, in your knowledge capacity, invest in your circle of influence, and over time you are able to create a rich and a wealthy retirement for yourself as an individual. So I will share this principle that will show down, right? It's a basic principle that if you understand it over time, you will have, should I say, a perfect understanding of what retirement is and how you can guarantee yourself. You know how, I keep using students because I'm a lab after school coach anyway. So I keep using students for an example. Everyone that is who have been to a high institution or you go to school before, you agree that there are some courses you study for, right? There are some courses that you study for. Even before the exam, you already know that, forget, I can't fail this course. I don't know if you get the point, right? As in, there are some exams that you read for, you prepare for some exam, you read so that you study for that exam, and by the time the semester the exam is coming, your confidence is over the roof. Why? Because you have enough knowledge. As in, you are so sure that forget, you not get what this man wants sex that will make me fail. You get the point? So I want to share with you what you can do, right, as a principle that can guarantee you that confidence, because it doesn't matter what you want to accomplish in this life. The number one success secret is confidence you will succeed in that thing. So I will share this principle with you, then I share another last principle that will shut down for the time that I have allotted to me. It is called the principle of the principle of life support. The principle of life support. The principle of life support, right? It will cover everything that has to do with strategic retirement, just like the flyer said. According to the principle, it states that everything must be sustained by the source out of which they came. Follow me. Everything must be sustained by the source out of which they came. I hope it makes sense. So if something comes out, if this is the source, if this is the source of this, right, this will need this to be sustained in life. And it's basically laid out in the entire Bible. For instance, when God wanted to create a fish, the fishes of the sea, right, he spoke to the water. Let the water bring out living creatures. So as it were, water became the source of all fishes, of all mammal that lives in the sea. So if you bring out a fish out of water, it will die a natural death. Just give it time, it will die. Because everything must be sustained by the source out of which they came. The same also applies to when God wanted to create the trees and the plants, he spoke to the earth. And let the earth bring forth bring out trees, bearing fruits and herbs. So as it were, the earth became the source of all trees and all plants. So if you pull a plant out of its source, if you pull a plant out of the ground, right, without giving an earth a support base, it will die a natural death. Why? Because everything must be sustained by the source out of which they came. Right? So if you apply that to your income, if I ask you, what's your source? What is the source of your income? What's the source of your income? The source of your income is your mind that houses your knowledge or your expertise or your skill. Everything you are able to do, that you are trained to do, is because your mind was trained to do it. So your mind is the source of all your skill. All this is the source of all your knowledge, and your knowledge is the source of all your income. So if everything must be sustained by the source out of which they came, it means that for you to sustain your current income, I'm going somewhere, for you to sustain your current income, right, your mind must continue to remain at that level of income, at that level of skill or knowledge. At any point in time, you choose to improve your knowledge base and your expertise, you are taking a risk of increasing your income, because once your source is enhanced and improved, that's why you put some plants in some soil, they become dwarf. Once you improve the nutrient content of that soil, something happens to the plant, it improves over time. the yield automatically improve. The same thing. If your mind is a source of your income that houses your knowledge and your skill, your expertise, right? If you improve your mind, if you invest in your mind, over time, you are taking a risk of increasing your income, because everything must be sustained by the source out of which they came. Is a basic formula. Once you key into that main principle, right, by saving 20% of your current income and using a percentage of your savings to invest in your mind and in your skill, see, it's not your village people. It's not, nobody will stop, nobody can be able to stop you. That's why I said, in spite of who is or who is it in the government house of your state or nation, you can create a wealthy retirement anywhere across Africa by following this simple principle. By knowing that your mind is the source of your knowledge and your expertise, and your knowledge and expertise is the source of your current income. So once you improve your mind, you will improve your skill and improve your knowledge, and in direct consequences that your income will increase. That's why you have people who are living in Nigeria who earn in foreign currencies. I said I create a lot of ebooks. I sell ebooks online. By seller has helped us, and also Paystack has helped us, that people buy my ebooks from anywhere across Africa, anywhere across the world. So in spite of where you are right now, in spite of who is in the government and who is not there, you can create a wealthy retirement using this basic principle I just shared with you. Your mind is the source of your current income by the reason of the knowledge that you have. For as long as you invest in your mind, you invest in your knowledge, your income is bound to improve, guaranteed. I hope that is enough principle to help anyone here. So you save 20% of your current income, use a percentage of that to invest in your mind, and you begin to grow yourself over time. The last principle I will share before we go is what I call the 70-30 rule, or the 70-30 principle. Because a lot of us make this mistake where, you like many retirees, they've not spent time in learning the entire process, investing in growing in knowledge. By the time they retire, when they have that gratuity, maybe 4 million or 5 million or 6 million, as the case may be, they look for somebody, they just put this time on business, boom, and everything crashes, and they start from square one. So the basic idea is what I want to share with you lastly now is that as you build your savings over time, as you continue to grow over time, what you should not do is that you should use, right, 70-30. Make sure that your savings, that you want to use to grow yourself, 70-30 rule is that if you want to make any investment at all, outside of investing in your mind, if you make any investment at all, right, don't invest more than 30% of your savings. Let's say you save 1 million at the end of 1 year. If you want to take risk with that savings, don't take risk more than 30%. So that even if anything happens to that high risk investment, you still have 70% of your savings that you can still do a lot of things with. It's called risk management. For instance, was it yesterday or the day before? Somebody came to me with an opportunity. Right, I won't share the details, but by the matter of what I do, right, as the market strategist and all that, people come to me in my DM, with a lot of ideas. I want to do. Somebody came with me a few days ago with an idea to make an investment, right, in something, and by the time it was done, I saw the potentials in what it was sharing, the possibility of what can happen, right, to my income if I make the investment. But then I told myself something. So what? By the virtue of what I know about risk management, I said, what I would do is I would put 5 people together, because we're going to be needing about 1.2 million, right, for the startup capital to invest in that. Rather than taking the whole risk by myself, my plan now is to share the idea with at least 5 people, right? And out of the 5 people, we're going to be bringing in about 250,000 each of us. to raise the capital. So let's assume that my savings for the entire year at this point in time was 1 million. I will pull out 200K from the 1 million, right? Partner with the other 5 people or 250,000 from that money. Partner with other 4 people, that is 5 of us, 250 by 5, which is already enough capital for us to start that, right? So that whatever happens to whether it succeeds or it fails, I still have about 750,000 in my savings, and I continue to do several other things. I hope that makes sense. That is what I'm calling the 70-30 rule. If you must take risk at all in making investment with your savings in the way of probably trying to create a wealthy retirement for yourself, just like we are sharing in this training section, don't take risk more than at least 30% of your savings, so that you can have something to fall back on. That's why so many people lost a lot of their money to MMM and all that. I know how much I lost, in MMM and all that. It was after that point I lost money that I would step back, started doing research about wealth creation, how is wealth creation. By the time I end up with a lot of information, knowledge that I could use this as formulas to create a wealthy retirement for myself as an individual. So I think that is pretty much basically what I can share at this point in time. So I'll round up from here so that my boss we can take some questions that are there for us to take. Right? I think I've tried, because if you leave me, I can keep going on and sharing principle and all that. So boss, I think we can take questions now.
Thank you so much for this, Dan. I'm quite excited and happy that we had this conversation. Okay, guys, if you have other questions, if you have questions you want to ask Dan, please ask Dan. Okay, but before they ask the questions, Dan, I know you've listed a whole lot of things, saving your money, not spending so much, creating income assets, and all that, investments and everything. But there's something about giving out information and then having implementation done. Some individuals were like, how do I? I mean, do you have something that can take someone on a process, on a journey to actually, getting these things done? If you have, please share with us.
It's okay. I don't know if I'm free, but then I will just say this. Part of what after I did that personal research that I did, where I was able to pay myself to 200 naira every day all throughout last year. Well, that we are done, I saw that, and I also look across Africa. We saw that a lot of people are struggling with their finances, and many of us still have like 40 to 20 to 30 years to be able to create a wealthy retirement for ourselves. So what we did was, my team and I would say, we know what we'll do to make it affordable and possible for everyone. That is, unless you choose to be ignorant, right? Unless you choose to be ignorant, or you choose to not implement anything for yourself as an individual, right? If not, we make it possible and affordable. What we started doing was to start creating ebooks that sell for just 1,000 naira. So all the ebooks here, you have a lot of, if you get like 6 ebooks, you have 6 different strategies that you can use to retire rich anywhere in Africa. Just all of them cost just 1,000 naira, one, just pick one. So that one is enough for you to get a lot of knowledge from there. But basic idea that I've shared before, right, is pretty simple. Just commit yourself at this point in time to start saving 20% of your current income. If it's 30,000, save 20%. If it's 50,000, save 20%. If it's 100K that you earn right now, just commit to saving 20% of that your current income that you currently earn at the moment. There are apps that you can use, which I've shared already. There's Piggyvest that can automate the entire process for you, right? There's also Cowrywise that can also automate the entire process for you. Commit to that over a 6-month period, then also over a 1-year period. Once you're able to do that, then at the end of the year, ask yourself this simple question, or before the year ends, or before the 6 months ends, ask yourself this simple question: do research or possible high income skills. Like one of the guys you hosted here, I think was it last week or within this week, who talk about freelancing. That's something that somebody can invest in. Freelancing, remote working, right? Different income skill. Research them by yourself. and pick the one that is suitable to you, that you have interest in, or something that is, you can easily go through. Then invest part of your savings into that. Commit an entire year to it. Don't push yourself so hard, but commit yourself to make sure that you are an expert in that skill. As simple as graphic design is, right? Praise is the one that designed my flyers. Praise make a lot of money from graphic designing. These are skills that you can also offer on several platforms, right? So acquire a basic skill that can improve your income at the moment, right? Then from there you start building up and all that. So I think that's pretty much basic idea. So I think we can take questions now, right? I don't know, Simon, we can help you with the questions.
Okay, I'm seeing a question here.
Or see, want me to share more?
Stephen Okere is asking, if someone is in a debt of 500,000 and he or she earns 40,000 naira a month, how can the person pay his debt and still be saving?
It's okay. Then let's look at it this way, because the response to that will be peculiar to the situation you are in right now, right? So if you are interested, for no fee attached at all, right? I could work with you. We'll come up with a plan. I will ask you personal questions. Let's know where you are. I know that you've already said your income is 40,000, but let's first of all know where you are right now. What are your expenses? What are all that? So when we have that information and all that, then we can come up with a plan of paying that back. But just to share for everyone's learning here, the first basic thing you should do is to know who your debtor is. By that means that how aggressive are they? How soon do they want their money back? What are they ready to do to you if you don't pay the money and all that? So it depends on who you are owing, because some people will listen to plea, right? So you can approach them and say, you know what, I know I am owing 500,000 naira at the moment. I'm ready to pay the money back, but let's work out something that I can, that will be flexible for me to pay back this money. This is just for general knowledge, right? So to enable me pay back the money in bits over time. So it doesn't begin with running away, right? Running away from maybe avoiding the person, building a bad reputation for yourself and all that. No, depending on who you are. As I said, we could work on this off this live section at no fee at all, right? I can help. We can come up with a plan that can help us do this. I can even come in between and mediate with you to talk to the people you are owing. Let's see how we can work something out, right? To sort this out amicably over time. Then it depends also on who you are at the moment also. That's why we can do one-on-one and work something out. If not, you can say, okay, depending on your time, the free time that you have, there are income skills that you can acquire in 30 days. There are some that you can acquire in 60 days. That is 2 months, depending on what you are looking for. That could help you to, because if you increase your income, then you also increase how much you can pay back over time. It will also shorten the time of payment over time. So depending on where you work right now, how much free time you have, you can invest in certain income skill that can enable you to make certain strategic money over time, right? So if you increase your income, you'll be able to increase how much percentage you can be paying back to the person at the moment. And also, I want to also add this. It may sound funny, but then even with 40,000 naira, and also as you're able to try to pay the person back, also commit to saving at least a little percentage of the current income. It's 40K, I know, but make sure that you are saving something out of it. Don't buy to the knowledge that money never is short finish and not to pay debt back or not to save. You must keep a percentage of everything that you earn as an individual. That percentage is what will go into paying your debt and also improving your mind, like I've shared, over time. That will also increase your income. That is pretty much all I can share. Talk about this at this point. I hope that helps.
Okay, there's another question here.
Any other question that we have there?
Yeah, do you mean we can go 100% risk of our savings on investing in expanding on our mind, skill, and knowledge? Can you hear me? Can you see Can you see the question on the screen?
Yes. Question: do you mean we can go 100% risk of our savings on investing in expanding on our mind, skill, or knowledge? From what I shared, right? I said you could. The last thing I said was to use the 70-30 rule, right? This can also apply to your question you are asking now, right? You can, depends on where you are at this moment, at this point in time. Do you think does it affect much? if you take your 100% savings at the moment and invest it into acquire a particular skill. I've seen people who use 100% of their savings. Now, they are not taking a risk. That is, they are not putting the money in something that will make them, like if they lose the money, they are back to square one. If it is in a skill, if it's in a skill that will improve your income, then why not? For the first 1 year, I don't see what's wrong with, or I don't see what the challenge is of using your entire savings for an entire year. After all, you have a source of income, right? Which is a source of your flow, of your cash flow, out of which you are saving a percentage. So even if you use your 100% of your savings this year to improve your mind or to improve your skill or expertise, right, it will affect how much you earn in 2 years. So it's an investment in yourself. It's not something that you are losing. For as much as the skill you are investing in will help to improve your current income in 12 months, why not? You can do 100% of your savings into improving yourself. So I think that answered that.
All right. So
I don't know if you have any other question that we can work on.
There's no other question. So Dan, I think you have an offer that you want to make. So go ahead and make the offer as we wrap up on this live stream, sir. Thank you.
Is all right. So and then if you go right now to my page, right, I think we can start the journey from there. If you go right now to my page, there's a pin post where I'm giving out a free ebook. It's called Hedge Funding for Africa, for average income earners in Africa. Hedge funding. How do you hedge your money against inflation? It's a free ebook, right? You can get it. But if you want to click on that link, it take you online. You can get that ebook for free. We can start the journey from there, right? Then if you're not following me already, you should start following my Facebook page, right? My Facebook profile. Then as we share knowledge over time, you get to hear a lot of things and learn a lot of things over time. But then for all my currently we have a total of 5 ebooks available right now on our online store, right? They are all 5 mind-blowing stuff. Contain a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, right? We are working on something right now that over the next 6 months, I've already shared this with Simeka Nobis for us to conclude so that we can start doing that on a regular basis. Because over the next 6 months, right, I was supposed to do a tour across 4 cities: Asaba, Ughelli, Warri, and Port Harcourt. But for reasons, for logistics reasons, right, we're trying to take the meetings online like this. Because when we are doing those tours, most of what I'm teaching are not recorded. But if we take the trainings online like this, on this page we're doing right now for Port Harcourt people, every Sunday like this, I come live like this on a American Nobles wall, which we're already discussing, right? Then we have the recorded version. You can have access to it over time. So all our ebooks are available for discount prices, right? For 2,500. That is like half the price. 2,500, you have access to all 5 of my ebooks. All you have to do, just send me a DM, right? And we'll give you the link to do your registration. Then all 5 ebooks will be here for download for free. Absolutely. Instead of paying 5,000, just pay half of the money, and they are all yours for study, personal and execution and all that. I think that's all I'll say for now. Thank you so much, boss.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this great conversation, Dan. God bless you for having this conversation with me.
It's a privilege, boss.
I look forward to the ideas you said you wanted to share with me. I think I have another question here. It's on the screen right now. It's on the screen. So can you see it on the screen?
I think I can see, but I'm not sure the question is very clear. Maybe if you understand it better, can you help me interpret? How can someone save
3,000 naira income even after running to debt? And they are also on side, even more. Godwin, I think you should write this thing better.
Because I don't understand the question. It's complicated.
The English is complicated. Your English
is complicated. Godwin, can you rephrase the question, please? Can you rephrase? Just try and rephrase it. Let's see if we understand it. Whether you are saying you are in debt that is even more than 20,000, I'm not sure.
Godwin, if you can type it again, please.
You can type it again. Just type it again. Now, while you are trying to type it again, if you are saving, how can someone save 20,000 naira monthly? How can someone save from 20,000 naira monthly income? Okay, it's like you earn 20,000 naira at the moment. 30,000 for the first part, you earn 20,000 naira at the moment. If that's the case, right? Let's focus on improving your income first. So I will contact Praise. I will pay for you to acquire. Let's make it possible for you to. But let's see if you can acquire the skill of graphic designing from Praise. I think you know Praise, right? That guy. Okay, now I'll reach out to him personally. So I will pay for you. I will find a way to pay for you so you can acquire the graphic designing skill from Praise. I'll pay Praise. Praise will teach you. Let's see if you can improve your skill first of all, so that we can other time we can work out the other side later. I hope that is fine, Praise. So just sorry, Godwin, just send me a DM if I understand your question. I'm just trying to crack my head to understand this your question.
Okay. Maybe maybe he will do it again. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe let me give him a minute if it's not able to.
All right. Let's give him a minute.
We'll call it a day if he's not able to. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dan, for He's not typing again. I don't know.
It's all right. I think we should round up. You said.
Okay, so final words. Just give us final words, boss.
It's all right. Final words. Pretty basic. The thing is that all of us we all desire to grow old. We all desire to grow old, right? So that we have a comfortable life. Some 20, 30. Some 40, some 50 years from now. No day you look back and look at your grandchildren, look at your own children, and have you check your head. Life is good, right? But then the question I would like to, my final what I want to tell you, and also is a question, is that what is the need or what is the use of growing old if it is going to be a painful old age, right? Because it said that you are a thief or you are planning to be a thief. If not, there is no reason why you should be expecting anything in your future if you have not kept anything there. And what you keep in your future is your investment you are making, everything you are doing currently, right? To secure a wealthy retirement or is a rich retirement some 20, 30, 40 years from now is what you are keeping for your future. So what's the use of growing old or expecting to, have a great retirement if you have not kept something there in the future? So you should do everything that you can right now with your current income, making sure that you are improving in your mind, you are improving in your expertise, you are improving in your skill, and you're improving in your circle of influence so that you can guarantee yourself a wealthy retirement some 20, 30, 40, some 50 years from now. So that will be my final words for the now. Thank you so much, boss.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Okay, so I think the guy has written the question correctly. He said,
okay.
What I meant is that I earn 20,000 naira per month, but my expenses are higher and I'm into debt more than that amount. I think you've answered this. Maybe if you have, maybe you can go ahead.
Okay. So I think I pretty much answered it. Right now you earn 20,000. And like I've said, send me a DM. Let's work on, first of all, increasing your earning capacity. Let's work on increasing your current income. How much you earn right now, right? Even if it means we could work out something. Even if you earn 20,000 right now, and you may not actually have the time to even acquire this skill that we're talking about now. You understand? So it means that you can work out something. That's what my Global Wealth Academy is about. We can pull you out of that job as far as you have a place to stay. we can pull you out of that job and pay you 3 months salary, that's 60,000 naira over 3 months, so that you can focus your mind on acquiring a particular skill. We can save your time. 60K, that is over, that is 20,000 naira in 3 months, that's 60,000. So we can look for a way to raise 60,000 naira, then pull you out of that job, as the case may be. That is, we need to talk. So send me a DM. So if we free up 3 months, if we can guarantee you that in 3 months you'll be able to earn 50K or the same 20,000 or even more, right? When you are done in 3 months, then we can find a way to pull you out of that job, free your time for 3 months, focus on increasing your skill. Then after 3 months, you start implementing that skill, right? Then we can increase your income, then we can figure out the other side later. I think that's fine.
Somebody else is asking, what online market can you leverage on? I
Hello,
really don't
boss.
understand. Yeah, I can hear you. Somebody else is asking, what online market can you really leverage on? I don't know what he means by that. Salami Raf.
Leverage on to do what?
That's
What online market can you leverage? Leverage on to do what? What do you want to accomplish?
Yeah, maybe they'll connect to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. I'm so grateful that we had this conversation. I look forward to the conversations. And
we should be the one to be grateful for giving us opportunity to work with you, sir. You built. We are just coming to share to your audience, so we should be the one thanking you for the opportunity to work with you.
So Salami is asking to generate. Is asking to generate income. What online market can you leverage on to generate income? I don't know what he means by online market.
Anyway, I'm not sure we understand your question. So let's make sure we frame the questions very well. So what online markets can you leverage on to generate income? If you want to generate income, we're talking about market. It means you have to have something to sell. So you have to rephrase the question very well, right? You have to have something you want to sell before you talk about markets. So you talk about what skills do you have that you are trying to sell, or what service do you have that you are trying to sell. That will determine the kind of market or the online leverage which we're talking about. But it doesn't matter. Let me just answer in the general context. Today, Emeka no be ask a question. He's trying to sell his online course, how to grow your social media, right, and make money. And he asked a question today on his page. The question, I can't remember the particular question, but it was a circle around which platform can I leverage on?
Yes. Which blog?
Right, to be able to get the words out there, because marketing is about getting the words out there, and you need platform. Somebody measure legit NG, somebody measure today end, somebody measure several things were measured. So I think you should find that post that was made and go through it, or maybe when this webinar end, based on your question, I will find that link to that post on the Mechanobi's page or wall. Then I will pin it to your question so that it will give you all the platform that you want. So that when you are able to find out the skill you want to sell, you can know that those pages can work for you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you.
It's a privilege,
sir. Thank you very much for this great conversation. We'll see in box regarding what you said you were going to share with me. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you and have a wonderful evening.
You too, sir. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.